And then 1099 filing requirements. And the IRS was talked about their step down for e-filing requirements. It was 250, and then it was going to be 100, then it was going to be 10 or 50, and then 10. But they kept skipping a lot of their step down e-filing requirement limits. So in 2020, well, in 2024 for 2023 tax year, it is a total of 10 of the following forms, and they're aggregated together. So it's a total of 10 forms from the chart that I have on here, which includes 1095Bs, 1095Cs, and the 1099 series forms and W-2s. So if you've got somebody with 9 employees and 2 contractors, they have to e-file during for the year. And prior to this year, the tax forms were not aggregated together. So let's say we were going to use the old rules, but it was still 10 and of something, and you had to e-file. If you had 9 employees and 2 contractors, you would still be fine. But with the rules where it's 10 of any of the, or any 10 forms of the forms on this list, you have to e-file. So that, I think, is gonna maybe catch some people by surprise. And I don't know how aggressive the IRS is gonna go after businesses with penalties, but just know that the business can and probably will be subject to penalties if the if there are more things being paper filed. If wow, businesses can and probably will be subject to penalties if the forms are being paper filed, and they should be e-filed. Um, and there's a lot of different options available for e-filing your forms. Payroll softwares will usually e-file the W-2s as a standard course. But if they don't, Track 1099 and Tax 1099 integrate with most accounting software. And I use both Track 1099 and Tax 1099 for different aspects of our business. With Tax 1099, I can e-file corrected W-2s without having first filed the original W-2s with that software. It's the only software that I have found that allows you to do that. But Track 1099 definitely has a better interface. There's other softwares like eFile for Biz, Tax Bandits. I don't know, there's dozens of software out there. And they're the 3 I listed on the slide are definitely, the most common example, but there's dozens of paid options for 1099s and maintaining vendor W-9s. And then there's free options, which is using the Fire site on SSA, or no, it's using the Fire site, which is on the IRS website, but it requires a transmitter control code, which if you haven't applied for one yet, you're probably not going to get it before the deadline. because it takes 45 days at minimum to get that code, which using the fire system is the recommended option for filing forms other than 1099. And also if you have a large volume of forms, but with Iris requires is also an option, but it also requires a TCC code, but it's a different TCC code from the fire website. And the limit is you can submit up to 100 records per upload with the CSV template. If you have more than 100 records, you submit multiple CSV. So there's the way around that. But if it can be time consuming.